Hey, what's up, guys? Your boy Southside. We back in the building, man. What do you guys think about trans athletes? Where do we draw the line? Today we got Piers Morgan, uncensored. Good debate. Let's get into it.
Leah Thomas fast has reversed a 15-year policy and will ban transgender women from women's sports. Athlete CC Telfer, a mediocre male runner who transitioned to become a record-breaking female runner, said this.
They would be smart and educated enough to know that something like that that's not how history works, and that's not how the direction of progressiveness works. And you can't take back history.
Well, I responded on X by calling the interview absurd, adding that she was born male, looks and speaks like a man, runs like a man, and is smashing women's records. She's not a victim, she's a cheat. Well, athlete Riley Gaines led a chorus of conservative criticism, but also rebuked me for not referring to Telfer as he. Now, look, here's what I feel about this. I've got no problem with calling a trans woman she. I only have a problem when I believe they are deliberately trying to erode women's rights to fairness, equality, and safety. And I think that's my dividing line. And so really, is it the hill to die on as to whether we call CC Telfer he or she? I don't think so. But Riley will explain herself when it comes to this. Others have pointed out that CC Telfer has no respect for women whose sporting dreams she's shattered. That's an interesting part of this debate too. And it's a sign of a massive cultural shift that using the wrong pronouns, previously a fully cancelable offense, is suddenly perfectly normal and no one's getting cancelled for it. So has Trump's trans ban unleashed a new wave of misery for trans people everywhere, as some claim, or is he simply restoring much needed common sense in a way that, frankly, most voters fully agree with? But joining me to debate all this is Blossom C. Brown, a transgender activist.
Before we start, man, I just wanted you guys to hear where Piers Morgan draws his line, and I want to know where you guys draw your line. Okay, to me, it started with just calling a man a woman. Like, to me, I'm not into that. I'm not into lying to myself to make somebody else feel better, because it's a slippery slope. It always starts like that, right? And then they take a mile, right? This whole conversation has started from an inch to 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 miles. All right, a marathon. Now you're playing, right? Now we got to draw back the lines and say, hey, look, you went too far. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying being extreme on either side is cool, but what I'm saying is that for every extreme, there's another extreme. So when you take advantage, the kickback is going to come back way worse than what it should have been when you playing fair, right? But when it comes to power, I don't care in what situation you're in, most people take advantage. That's why you see Doge coming in with the receipts of people taking tax dollars and doing what they want with it, because what comes with power comes corruption, because this is human nature. You need a balance, right? So before we start the video, man, and see what this person has to say, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think, and where do you draw the line?
We sparred with Michael Knowles on Jubilee this week.
Hi.
Hello.
Blossom. She got hers powerhouse.
The Blossom Powerhouse. Lovely to meet you.
And the great Riley Gaines, who's been a fantastic trailblazer for safeguarding women's rights in all this, is the host of Gaines for Girls on Outkick. You had a front row seat, Riley, at the White House when the president signed that executive order, which was quite a moment. First of all, how did you feel being there for that moment in history, which you've campaigned so hard for?
Well, thank you, Piers, for having me on. Always a joy to be on with you. There was a lot of emotions. Of course, it's a bit bewildering that this is something that's necessary, that a sitting president has to take time out of his day, out of his busy day, to use his executive powers to declare, number one, that men and women are different, and then to further declare that men do not belong in women's sports. But nonetheless, it is necessary. I would argue that it was urgent. So this type of moral clarity and decisiveness is... I just feel vindicated. The past 3 years, me personally, and I know women who have been fighting much longer than I have, the past 3 years, it's been an uphill battle. Not only were we as women, as female athletes, I guess in particular, not only were we ignored and stonewalled, we were actually reprimanded if we dared to oppose this movement. If we dared to even question this movement, we as women were reprimanded. So to finally have a seat at the table, and to have a president who is willing to listen to us, I just feel grateful. I feel grateful for God's mercy that we don't deserve, and I feel entirely vindicated, Piers. And I think that visual, quickly, that visual of President Trump surrounded by all of these young girls with dreams and aspirations and hopes for a future. I think that visual is one of the most iconic pictures that will come out of his administration, and that's saying a lot considering this man has a mugshot.
Yeah, I mean, the two images I'll be remembering from all that involving you were you with Trump when that happened, but also you being mobbed literally in a vicious, horrible, threatening way by a gang of people wanting to cause you physically harm because you were standing up for women's rights, not least for safety, which seemed
To me, as a man, I think we let it get too far as well, man. To be honest, we got the wokies, we got the lefties, we got the women who agree with this. They semi agree with it because the human right aspect is like, yeah, a person should be whatever they want to be if they want to identify as it. But when you start forcing people to do things that they don't want to do, like call a man a woman, you playing games, right? Especially if you're a person of faith, right? Jesus Christ. It's like I have to bend the knee to you but I'm frowned upon when it comes to my religion because I'm lying just to make you feel better, and that's where we go wrong. But you see the entitlement in the dude's face, right? The disgust of her sticking up for herself and not wanting to abide by this. It's the entitlement for me, bro. Like, you're lucky that people even gave you like an inch to hear you out, because that used to be lunacy. If a man thinks he's a woman and a woman thinks he's a man, you look at that person like they're crazy and they walk off. But y'all kind of forced the politicians, or the politicians on your side forced many states to abide by these, pronouns and foolishness that y'all made up to make y'all feel better. But what about the majority of the people, right? Majority of the people voted. We wanted that out. So that just tells you we were the silent majority, right? We didn't care about that. We didn't want that. We never, we don't check for you. We don't care about what you do in your own bedroom and how you do your thing. Just leave the kids alone and leave us alone that don't agree with it, right? When you start affecting our workplace as far as, trans flag and trans flag day and all this other stuff, and making people feel uncomfortable around you just to make you feel comfortable, that's where we draw the line. Because what you do in your own bedroom, as far as the sex that you like or the gender you like, whatever, that's your business, bro. But when you start putting me in your business, that's when I'm allowed to have an opinion about your business, because you made it my business. Nobody cares about you. And I would like to say that to the trans folks, gay folks, whatever, LGBTQ, all that other crap. Y'all made it a thing, bro. Y'all made it a thing. Nobody wakes up thinking about you unless you mess with our kids. Now we forced to think about it. Now we forced to say something. Now we forced to say, hey, you're doing too much, right? When it comes to y'all coming to women's sports, it's like now you playing games. I thought you wanted rights, right? And I don't think you never not had rights. We just didn't care about you. You just wanted us to care. But my thing is, anything forced is forced to fall, right? You should not force people to like you, right? That's how you get spit in your food, right? Okay, I gotta serve you, right? But I never liked you, so I'm gonna spit in your food. I'm not saying I would do something like that, but you gotta watch out for stuff like that. Let's get back into it.
be completely outrageous. Blossom, I can see you making faces there. I've asked one question to start this debate with you. Why do we separate the sexes at the Olympics?
First of all, I want to say shout out to Cece Tolfer. I've met her before. She is a magnificent person, and she is very bad ASS, and I love her to death. Let me say this.
We'll come to Cece Tolfer in a moment. Cece Tolfer might be a fabulous person.
Yes.
I'm going to come later to why I think what she does is completely wrong. But just on the question I asked, why do we separate the sexes at the Olympics?
Piers, if you actually let me get to it, because you let Riley have her talking point, so I'm going to actually have my talking point right now. CC is definitely a wonderful person, and I think, let's be clear, Donald Trump is a complete moron. Donald Trump talks so much about waste and fraud, and you're signing a whole executive order banning trans women from playing sports. According to the NCAA, there are over 510,000 athletes, and within those athletes, there are only less than 10 trans athletes. So you mean to tell me Donald Trump signed an executive order for 0.002 of the population when trans people are only 1%? That's a waste. That is a waste. Trans people exist. There are more than two sexes. There are intersex people that exist. And I think that it's nothing more than conservative propaganda that because Donald Trump is in power, he is able to use. I think Donald Trump should stop booty clapping to Elon Musk and actually get something done in this country. And eradicating trans people is not going to be it. And I stand 10 toes down on that.
So what he cares about is just him and his trans agenda. He don't care about nothing else Trump did as far as finding waste, fraud, and abuse, right? Because that's, to me, that should never been brung up. Because did you not see what he found? Like, okay, I guess. But when it come to you, you worried about me, right? Trans. Only less than 1%. So watch, like, I know you live in a world where y'all was winning and people start to listen to you, and you're noticing that you're 1% less than. I mean, like, yeah, you probably less than 1%. Why? Like, majority rules. Like, usually if you less than 1%, shut up. Like, shut up. Who cares how you think? Who cares? You don't have that influence. So usually if you don't have influence, your ideology dies out, right? This is ideological here. You think you're a woman. I say you're not, right? The majority rules. You're not. Get the heck out of here. This is, you know what I'm saying? As a whole, right? If we were in a union, which is basically this country is, right? If we're in a union, we basically just voted your ideology out. Therefore, shut up. And if you think that way, we're still a free country, right? You still can do what you want, but you can't enforce it on me. We at the roots level, we voted that out and say I don't want to hear it no more. Now, this is very disingenuous saying that you're not letting transgenders play sports. Okay, we're letting you play sports, just not with the gender you want to claim you are when you're not. Simple. Play sports just with your own gender. You know what I'm saying? You can play these mind games all you want, but if you want to play sports, you're not going to play with who you want to play with, because women should be protected, and they are. And we standing on that. Just like how you say you standing on things, we standing on protecting women. You think you are, you're not a woman, bro. You can play them games all you want, mentally, whatever, fine. Do your thing. We not worried about you. But when you start digging into stuff that we care about, bro, stop playing. Now you playing too much. And this is where people draw the line. All right? Like Piers Morgan said, yeah, I can call a woman, and I can call you a woman, but this is where such a line draws, right? But my lines start with the confusion right off the bat. I'm not playing with you. Don't play with me. I ain't gonna play with you. You a man? Don't play with me. I ain't gonna hear nothing else you have to say other than that. If you think you're a woman, do your thing. You're not gonna force me to do it. You know what I'm saying? So let's get back into it. It's foolishness, bro.
I'll say very briefly, it's this argument that it's a small percentage of the population. I hope you realize it's not a 1-to-1 ratio. It's not for every one male that's participating in a women's sport, it's one woman that's affected. In my sport, at our national championships, one male displaced 14,000 women. And I can speak for myself. I can speak for my teammates. I can speak for 99% of other female competitors on that pool deck. We all felt betrayed. We all felt violated in the locker room. We all felt it was unfair, but not enough people were courageous enough to say it because they were terrified. They were terrified of the name calling that you just...
Well, I call them cowards because they didn't stick up for what was right, but also, you know, when you can't really, I hate to shame people, but I think that men should do the right thing no matter what, right? That's how, things change in the country, when people do the right thing. When good people do nothing, that's when bad things happen. But that doesn't mean they didn't agree with you. They didn't disagree with you, okay? That meant that there was a political, backing from your ideology that was very enforceful. So if we spoke out against it, we will get punished. It's not that we agree with it, we were forced to. Like, and just like how I said before, that's when that analogy comes, when I told you that when you force people to deal with you, when they really don't want to, bad things happen, because eventually it comes out. Let's get back into it.
Pursued. The first thing you say is Donald Trump is a moron. What 20-year-old girl wants to be called transphobic or any of the slurs that have been thrown my way? I can certainly attest to.
Riley, I think you're trying to, Riley, I think you're just trying to make it seem like that trans people are a threat to cis women in the breast room, and that's not the case. Trans women and cis women should be coming together. Trans women are not a threat to cis women. Okay, but here's
look, but Blossom.
And I think that y'all have ran on that ideology.
Yeah, Blossom.
Ran on that ideology.
Blossom, hang on.
And you're going to have to specifically tell me cases.
Blossom,
can you specifically tell me cases of where trans women have hurt cis women in the restroom.
Blossom,
I'd like to know that,
Blossom,
please.
we don't use words like cis on here because no one understands it. Let's just...
well, I use cisgender, so that's where I'm
sure you
from,
do,
and
but
that's
nobody,
what I like to use. That's in my vocabulary.
Yeah, but nobody else understands it. Let's just stick to my question. My question for you, which you haven't...
just because you don't understand, you just don't have the intellectual capacity, Piers. You don't have the intellectual capacity to understand.
Shame and the need to be right. Shame and the need to be right. We don't jack your stuff. That's why you lost the election. We don't jack that. Stop. We don't care about that. See how enforceful they are, and if you don't agree with that, and you say a man is a man and a woman is a woman, you're not intellectually. You those shaming words don't matter anymore. We don't care. Stop forcing us to care. Stop. The only reason why you're getting heard right now, the only reason why you get to talk to Piers Morgan is because of the last election. It's because of the last administration. Other than that, we don't care about you. What you think? To other people, you sick. Like, we don't even listen to you. Like, we would look at you like you crazy, bro. Like, you deserve to be in a lunatic asylum, bro. It's the truth. Like, you can't play you can't put your mental illness on other people. We don't rock that. We don't jack that. Leave us alone with it, bro. Oh, cisgender. Ain't no cisgender nothing. It's a woman, bro. All right, we played your, and this is what power comes with. Like I said, power corrupts. This person been having this way for a while. You know what I'm saying? So now she's like, now he think that he can do the same thing, and you're gonna fall and bend the knee because that was forced back then. The last administration forced you to deal with this, but we not doing that no more. We not. Let's get back into it.
Sorry, Blossom. Just to explain something, you're appearing on a show called Piers Morgan Uncensored. That means you can say whatever you want.
I know all about you, Piers.
Okay, you can.
And I know how you're good at race baiting. I know how you're good at being transphobic, and that's why I'm here to face you.
Just to be clear,
face you one-on-one.
When do you think I've ever race baited?
Honey, you remember that whole incident with Sharon Osbourne?
Yes.
Let's not forget.
Oh, you know, I do. Oh, no, I do.
But we're not here to talk about Miss Sharon Osbourne.
What do you think happened there?
We're not here to talk about Miss Sharon Osbourne.
Yes,
we're here to talk about trans people in sports.
Hang on, you've raised...
You are notorious.
Okay, wait a minute. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about the Sharon Osbourne thing. Let me tell you what. Since you've raised it,
I'm a black trans woman.
Blossom, stop talking for a moment.
Cut me off so many times. I've been here.
Okay,
but
Blossom,
Riley, you give.
Can we have a conversation, please?
You give the white girl all the time to talk.
Can we have a conversation, please?
And the black girl is having to speak.
Actually, at the moment, the black girl is doing all the talking. So
you're not a black girl, weirdo.
Can I just say something, please?
That's my opinion.
All right.
That's my view.
Blossom, stop talking. Let me just explain to you why what you've just said is complete and utter nonsense. I'm very glad you raised the Sharon Osbourne thing, as you put it, just to remind people and educate you about what happened. I was removed from my job hosting a morning show in Britain called Good Morning Britain because I disbelieved Meghan Markle's claims of racism against the royal family. Okay? I never said a racist...
Why? Hang on. Why. She's a black woman.
Finish. I never said a racist thing about anybody, least of all Meghan Markle. I've never invoked her skin color. In fact, on the day she got married to Prince Harry, I wrote a front page story in a national newspaper in this country in which I extolled the glorious moment we finally had a biracial wedding in our otherwise all-white royal family. You might be bored, but I'm going to address your allegation.
Okay,
Piers, hang on. I haven't finished.
Hey, as a man, bro, you being disrespectful like that, you have to catch hands, bro. You gotta take out the wig, man, and do your third thizzle. And I ain't into fighting, mentally ill people, but at the end of the day, you gotta be respectful, bro. You don't have a right to be disrespectful on somebody else's platform when they actually giving you a voice when you lost the election, bro. When you lost the election and y'all ideology got rooted out, at this point, you shouldn't even. What are we even talking to you for? You luckily he even putting you on a platform for us to review to get you still some type of voice, right? Because at the end of the day, like I said, we were like in a rural world outside of mainstream and pushing this agenda on our youth and people that totally don't agree with you. People will look at you like you're nuts and just walk past you like, oh, that person crazy. You know what I'm saying? They might not say nothing to you as a respectful thing because you have a right in America to believe whatever you want to believe, right? But we will walk past you thinking you're a lunatic. You're lucky he's giving you a voice still, even though you lost the election, and your ideology obviously is not as popular as you think it is. Right? Let's get back into it.
Haven't finished.
But I'm here to
I
talk
haven't
about trans
finished,
women in
Blossom.
sports,
Let me
okay?
finish. Let me just educate
Okay.
you.
Well, I didn't get to finish.
Let me just
Piers.
educate you with some
You don't get
facts.
to disrespect a
You've
black
called me
trans
a
woman.
race
Do not
baiter.
interrupt a black
You've
trans
called me a
woman when
race.
she's speaking.
Please
okay?
stop talking. You've called me a race baiter. I'm a
allegedly.
hang on.
Alleged race
Hang on.
baiter.
And you right. So let me finish. So what happened then was Sharon Osbourne, who was on a show called The Talk on CBS, now sadly no longer there because they got rid of Sharon. And guess what? Nobody wanted to watch it. And Cheryl Underwood, a black woman on that panel, set up Sharon Osbourne in the most despicable manner imaginable. And she said to Sharon Osbourne, "Why did you support Piers Morgan when he said those racist things?"
Of course you would
and Sharon Osbourne, hang on, you can respond when I finish telling you what happened. You can respond when I tell you what happened.
Black man, nigga, shut up. Damn.
I just want you to know you
Blossom,
are a disgusting
you can respond.
white cis man.
You can respond when I finished telling you what happened, and you can challenge me on facts.
Go ahead.
What you can't challenge me is something you've seen on TikTok. So let me finish. So Sharon Osbourne was told,
TikTok.
"Why did
nobody said that on TikTok?
someone?"
Cheryl in America.
Cheryl Underwood. Cheryl Underwood said to Sharon Osbourne,
"We're here to talk about
okay, if you're going to keep talking, I'll mute you. I will mute you, but don't let me mute you. Let me just finish. Then you can respond." Cheryl Underwood said, "Why did you support Piers Morgan when he said those racist things?" Sharon said, "What racist things?" And as a result of that, by getting annoyed that she was being set up to try and supposedly defend her friend me in saying racist things I'd never said, Sharon got fired from The Talk. And she was left suicidal in the year that followed, that her whole career was sent down the drain because, ironically, the race baiter was actually the black woman on that panel, Cheryl Underwood, not Sharon Osbourne and not me. So I'm very glad you raised the issue of race baiting. But let's be clear, as you're doing now, the race baiting came from Cheryl Underwood to Sharon Osbourne, and it's now coming from you. So now you can respond.
You are fake news.
Now you can
Black
respond.
Women cannot be racist to white women. Are you kidding me?
Sorry?
That makes no sense.
Sorry?
Black women cannot be racist to white women. Do you not understand that?
Oh, yes, they can.
You don't have the intellectual
yes, they can.
to understand that.
Oh, yes, they
that's
can.
Very much
and you've been racist to me.
That's very much
You've
impossible.
been racist to me, a white man, by saying I'm a race baiter.
Bro, this is... I really don't want to keep watching this shit, bro, because it seemed like the more I watch it and try to review it, because this is my first time reviewing it. I would do y'all the due diligence to skip, the horseplay and foolishness that this boy, this black man is just putting upon Piers Morgan. But at this point, it's like I really want to stop the shit. But I mean, you hear this a lot. They say that black people can be racist towards white people. That's very much not true. Black people can be very much so racist towards white people. I grew up in an all-black neighborhood. We never really seen white people like that. I'm from South Central. We really did not see white people like that, bro. Like unless they drug addicts or something like that, or undercover or something, like not undercover as far as like an agent, but for criminal activity. You know what I'm saying? Neighborhood watch type situation. But at the end of the day, we didn't really see white people like that. So a lot of times, what I'm saying, even though we didn't see him, we did talk, bad things upon him. The white devil, this and this and that. Especially in, Muslim religions, when it comes to, when it comes to Black Americans, all right, with the Muslim community, they do speak upon white people as a white devil and all this other crap, white blue-eyed devil shit. Yeah, that's racist. That's racist. You can't discriminate against white people, right? Just because they're racist. You don't gotta know them. You just gotta be racist, right? It's just embedded in them. It's just something in them that just makes them racist. That they can't control it, right? I heard all type of shit as a black person. Yes, you can. It's always, and it's a thing, right? It's a thing. And this person is very, very delusional and very sick-minded, because we, for 4 years, right? I think before that, but we were getting to it. But for 4 years, we validated this person's insanity, foolishness, like craziness, right? Instead of doing what we're supposed to and tell this person, look, I know you think what you think, but you're a man. I'm sorry. This person literally thinks that it's a woman. and it's foolish. It's crazy to me because, like I said, you could think the whole world around you, like I say, you could think the whole world around you is crazy, right? But one day you're gonna have to look in the mirror and accept accept what everybody's saying to you, because there's only one common denominator when it comes to the situation. If everybody around you is, if you 1% and everybody around you is like, if they don't feel sorry for you, not a liberal and liar, and tell you the truth, and everybody around you telling you the truth, but you think that everybody else crazy, but you are not educated enough to understand, you're the common denominator, brother. You know what I'm saying? That's brother from another brother. And that's the end of this, man. I wish I can do another one. But yeah, we done with this, man. This is getting too much, man. This thing is bickering back and forth, and it's kind of, I just want to drag y'all through this shit, man. To be honest, I would do it, but understand that I'll have to drag y'all through a whole bunch of stuff that I don't know what's coming. I should probably watch it before it, but it's not as authentic as I want it to be as far as me reviewing this content, man. But if you guys like this content, please like, comment, subscribe. And if you want me to do a part 2, man, let me know too. South Central, we out.
We be really politicking while we whipping in the kitchen. God be my witness. At the age of 15, I was fighting my fitness. Mud life